Hey yo, howdy yo, my name's fordmustangkillerko. I almost just botched that entire intro. Oh, that all rhymed. What's going on? Welcome to the video, everybody. Today, I'm bringing you guys the almost complete Kyber collection from Galaxy's Edge. Now, I know this video is hella late. It took me, I will admit, it took me a while to complete the entire collection. And I say mostly complete because I will get more into that as we get to the video or as the video goes on why it's mostly complete. But I've acquired my version of the complete collection of all the Kyber crystals. Now, for those of you that don't know, this has been out for like, I don't even know how long Galaxy's Edge has been out. 3 years, 4 years now? 3 years now? 4 years now? Anyway, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what these are, basically when you go to Galaxy's Edge, either in Disney World or Disneyland, and you build your own SAVIS lightsaber collection, you get a actual crystal, one of these, that goes inside of the saber and will determine the color of the blade. Now, when you build your lightsaber, you get to choose between these 4 colors here: red, green, blue, and purple. Then you could go next door to the Doc Ondars, where you could buy the legacy lightsabers, and you can buy the holocrons, which we'll get into as well. And you can go ahead and pick up the yellow and the white. You can't get these when you build your lightsaber. You can only get them next door in the Doc Ondar, the Doc Ondars collectible den of antiquities, all that fun stuff. And also, so that's a way to get a yellow blade and a white blade as well. Now, the reason why, like I said in the intro, the reason why this is an almost complete collection is because there's actually way more crystals than what I have here. There's actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 more crystals that are not in this layout here that are up for grabs. So basically, how this works, how the crystals work, I will explain it and I'll show you guys anyway, is there's 4 cuts of crystals. Red is the only one that I have all 4 cuts, so I'll show you guys what each one of the cuts look like. Red is the only version that have all 4 cuts. There's 2 potential voices for each of the cuts, so that's why I only have 1 of each. But the other crystals that I'm missing are the remaining cuts for each of the colors, and it's 1 voice. So this is hard to explain. The 2 green crystals, we'll just go with the green crystals, are YODA and Qui-GON. So with the 4 cuts, 2 of them are YODAs and 2 of them are Qui-Gons. I don't need 2 YODAs and I don't need 2 Qui-Gons, so I just got 1 of each, if that makes any sense. The cuts really don't matter for me. With red, there's 1 voice per cut, so that's why I have all of the red crystals. That's the best way I can explain it. We'll get into what the different voices are and everything like that. I just remembered that I need to go upstairs and grab a legacy saber and show you guys each one of these with the different colors and the different sounds, which I'll do when we go back upstairs. But right now I'm just going to show you the generic layout for each one of the crystals, and I'm going to put them in the holocrons, show you guys the voices and everything like that. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, just letting you guys know now. And I know I'm way behind on this. Like I said, it did take me a long time to collect all of the crystals, but I figured I'd still give an in-depth review, considering that I'm doing my complete lightsaber collection. I might as well show you. This is a big part of the collection, so I do need to show you guys that. So yeah, basically how this works is you go into Savvy's workshop, you can choose between one of these 4. Like I said, then you can go next door and buy these. You can buy additional colors as well, so try and complete your own collection. It took me so long to complete the collection for 2 reasons. 1, I wanted to kind of do it by myself and kind of complete the collection myself. And then the pandemic happened, so then the parks closed, so then it was on hold for a while. And then I found somebody that's actually going to the Disney World, which is open, and he helped me complete the set. Surprisingly, the only one that I didn't have difficulty with was the black crystal, which I'll get into what that is. My brother actually got that his first try, so, and then he gifted it to me, so thank you, Anthony. Disclaimer as well, there are 2 crystals here to the side, which are the 8-ball crystals. I will explain more of those in their own video for purposes you guys won't know. These are the original 8-ball crystals. You guys can see the cuts. These aren't the cuts that are in the 8-ball crystals anymore. They're a little bit bigger now. And as of yesterday, they released them in their own special canisters. So I had a guy actually go to Galaxy's Edge today and buy me one of each. So I'm going to have 2 extra 8-ball crystals. So if anybody wants the original 8-ball crystals, I might be willing to sell these because I don't need 2 8-ball crystals, but I do really like the canisters. So they'll have their own video, the 8-balls. So I'm not going to be reviewing them in this review. So they're going to have their own video, and I'll explain what the 8-ball is. They're not part of the original line. They're just kind of, at this point, they were mystery. They were really hard to get. But now they come in their own designated canisters, and you can choose to get the 8-balls themselves. So that's kind of a yay, because those were really hard to get. I actually had to pay extra to get those from a scavenger. So yeah, let's go into each one of the canisters. So you don't get a canister unless you buy them from Doc Ondars. If you go to the SAVIS workshop, you just get the crystal. So I don't have a canister for each one of these crystals. I think I'm missing one for a purple, a green, and a red. But all the other ones I have canisters for. Basically what the canisters look like, they just say Kyber crystal. They say Kyber crystal in Arabic up there. And they got warning features, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and just a nice little design. And the top of them screw off here. And your crystal's located on the inside. They got this little plastic trim, and they sit inside there. So they're good for storage. I just have them for display. This crystal, this canister display is not for sale at the Galaxy's Edge. I actually went on Etsy and found somebody that made a custom 3D printed one. So that's where I got this. I will link this in the description below if you guys are interested in picking up a 6 crystal display. I just displayed one of each. I have way more canisters than this, but I just displayed one of each color. And then on the top, they have like a little key ring, I guess, so you can hang it off of things. I've seen people get those beaded necklaces and kind of just hang them from there. You can hang them from strings and hang them from your belt. They could do a lot of cool things with them. So that's a regular Kyber crystal. So they're all pretty much the same. The white obviously has black writing, and the yellow has black writing, just so it'd be easier to read. Oh, and the green has black writing too. So 3 have black writing and 3 have white writing, but other than that, they're all the same. They all say Kyber crystal. I will move this up front and show you guys just a better look at all of them going up. The only one that is different, as you can see, is the red, and I will explain why the red is a little bit different. So, the red. A lot of people hunt down the red crystals in hopes of getting the infamous black crystal. So, in spite of them being 4 different crystal designs, you have a chance of pulling the black crystal. The black crystal will still shine red in the blade and in the holocron, but the voice will be Snoke. It used to be very rare for you to find these. These used to be in a different canister. They used to be in a canister with black writing. So if you have a black writing canister, that's a first edition canister. Hold on to those. Those are pretty rare. But they stopped the black crystal when they found out that people were actually pulling them off the shelves, shining them in light, and looking through them to see if there was a black crystal on the inside, because obviously the black crystals are darker than the red, and if you shined a flashlight into there, you could see if it was black, and then people would obviously pull it. So they stopped dishing them out. They resold them in this new crystal display and held them behind the counter. So now you would have to go up to there and say, oh, I want a red crystal, and they would just hand you them, and you would have to see a chance in getting them. They put a black film paper, which you can see, I'll show you guys now, a black film paper on the inside. It's literally like just construction paper that will hide. You can see you can't see through anymore. If we shine a light, you can't see the crystal through, just to kind of hide the odds of getting it. So they made it a little bit harder to get. So like I said, my brother bought one of these, just one, first time, and pulled the black crystal. I was so mad. But he ended up giving it to me as well with his Peace and Justice build, which I'll go ahead and show you guys when I do all the crystals with the sabers. I'll show you guys his build. He gifted me that, so thanks Anthony for that. But yeah, so now they changed it to where you can buy the bulk light things, and they upped the rarity, I guess, of pulling them into 1 in 10. So it's a little bit easier to get now, and I think that was because a lot of people figured out how to reprogram the chips that are inside of these. They would just buy a red one, spray paint it black, reprogram the chip to SNOKE, and it'll be their own custom one. So I guess to kind of stop that from going off and ripping people off, they just kind of upped the rarity. So now it's a little bit easier to pull these. I've seen people pull them a lot more often now. They just go in there, they buy 10, and some of them even pull 2. So I'm willing to go and try again to pull my own authentic one, because you can't really have enough of these. And it comes with its own little special thing, which we'll go into when we review all the other lightsabers. But that's a little history on the crystals. So to recap them, you get 1 crystal when you go to build a SAVIS custom lightsaber, but you can only pick between red, green, purple, and blue. And then you have to go next door to the Doc Ondars to get yellow and white. And you can also buy extra crystals for about $14 each that come in an actual canister. So if you guys want the canister, go next door and buy them. There's like 20, I think there's like 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 24 crystals total. 26 if you include the 8 balls, and 27 if you include the black crystal. But 24 total out of the main line. Again, I only have 14 because I don't need the full complete set. There are people that have the complete set with 4 of each crystal. Props to them. I don't want to spend that much money. They're pretty expensive as it is, so I digress. Okay, holocrons. So there is a Jedi holocron and a Sith holocron. You can see them both here. They're $50 each. They come with a charger. They come with a little baggie. Black Spire outposts. You get red strings with the Sith one. I have stuff in here, just like blade plugs and wrenches and stuff. And you get black strings for the Jedi holocron. So you each get a little baggie that you keep them in. They're really good for storage. A lot of people put their canisters in there. So do what you want with them. Basically, what they do is they light up. I'll kind of show you guys what they do. And you put a crystal on the inside of that. The crystal the holocron will light up the color of the crystal that's inside, and it'll be able to read the voice lines of the crystal. So like I said, there's 2 voices, like with the green. There's a Qui-GON and a Yoda. You put each crystal in there, it'll read Yoda quotes, it'll read Qui-GON quotes. That's that. You can put the Sith crystals in the Jedi holocron. It'll light up red, and it'll read as Yoda kind of warning you about the dark side. As vice versa, but it won't tell you which voices are these. So no matter which red crystal you put in here, you'll get a Yoda voice line. Same for this one. This one will only be able to, the Sith holocron will only be able to read the red crystals. So that's how you determine which voice is in here. You can put these crystals inside of the holocron. It will light up that color, but you will get Darth Sidious talking about the dark side. Blah, 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 blah. So that's all that. Cool. These 2 actually do something really cool where if you have no crystals on top, inside of them, you can stack them together. They'll light up purple, and you'll get a special message reading only if you have 2 of them put together, which I'll show you guys that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the canister aside here. We're going to go through all of the voice lines for the holocrons. Like I said, the 8 balls are going to be getting their own video later this week. He just shipped them out to me. I just got the confirmation. today, so probably by Friday I'll be filming the video. So there's that. But we're going to be doing all the rest of them. I'm going to be moving this over to this side for when we do the Sith, and we're going to start off with the Jedi. There is a sugar honey iced tea load of quotes for each one of the crystals, so I'm not going to hit all of them. I'll just hit like maybe 2 or 3 for each one, because we will be here for literally a day if I was to sit here and try and get all of the quotes. And that kind of leaves the fun for you guys too, so I'm not spoiling anything. You guys can hear the different quotes for yourself, maybe the ones that don't play. So how these work, as you can see that these kind of twist. The top 4, or the front 4 I should say, twist, and then the back 4 will twist, much like you see in the Rebel show, and it will light up blue. Oop, I twisted that. So you got a nice little sound here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip the camera to get a better look at all this up close and personal so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so here is the holocron lighting up. It kind of, I really wish it wasn't as bright in here, but it kind of throbs a little bit, pulses. You can see there's 2 little indents on the inside here, which you go ahead and pull out, and a little drawer pulls out. And this is where you would put the crystal inside. You just put it inside that hole, push it back in, and it would read the crystals. Without any crystals in, you will still get a voice line. The stock voice line for the... Let me turn this off so I can talk. The stock voice line for the Jedi crystal is Obi-Wan from the end of the Clone Wars, when he's initiating his warning to all the remaining Jedi to stay away. We do see these quotes appear in Rebels, and it's the same exact voice line. So let's turn it on. Let's take a listen to what that sounds like. There's 3 of them, so this one I will do all 3, and they play in order.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place.
So basically how you get this to work is there's 2, I don't know if you guys could see them. Oh, you could kind of see them. Those 2 little white circles on each side. And you basically just put your fingers over them at the same time.
This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed. And our future is uncertain.
And it'll read the quote. And this is for any of the
we
crystals.
will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere. And in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
Yeah, so that's the stock one. That one will play anytime there's no crystal inside of the reader. Let's go ahead. We'll start going through the crystals. I will show you guys the different cuts when we get to the Sith portion, just so I could go through them all individually. We'll start with blue, just so I can show you guys. So this is what the crystals look like outside of the thing. Again, I will go through the cuts individually. You just put it in. It doesn't really matter which way you put the crystal inside. You just put it inside the little holster there. You'll hear a little boot up noise. This one doesn't change color, obviously, because there's a blue crystal inside and it was blue stock. But you push through this one, and this voice should be Old Ben from episode 4.
A young Jedi named Darth Vader, who was a pupil of mine until he turned to evil, helped the Empire hunt down and destroy the Jedi Knights. Now the Jedi are all but extinct. Vader was seduced by the dark side of the Force.
So it just reads movie quotes from some of them. Some of them were made.
You cannot escape your destiny.
Some of them were made especially for the crystal, which we'll get into as well.
You've taken your first step into a larger world. This is a dangerous time for you, when you will be tempted by the dark side of the Force.
So that one's Obi-Wan. Pretty cool. The next blue one we'll go through. I'll put him off to the side here when we're doing. Should be old Luke. So Luke from episodes, primarily episode 8.
I will not be
Come on. Come on.
Now that they're extinct, the Jedi are romanticized, deified. If you strip away the myth and look at their deeds, the legacy of the Jedi is failure, hypocrisy, hubris. I will teach you the ways of the Jedi. I will not be the last Jedi.
So they don't really play in order. There's more.
Now that they're extinct,
They're just kind of randomized.
Romanticized, deified.
Pull that one out. So that's Luke's. So that's pretty much it for the blue. Like I said, there are 4 different ones of these. 4 different crystals. There's another crystal cut with Obi-Wan's voice and another one of Luke's. And then if I had both of them for all the colors, I'd have the full set. But just have the 2 because I need 1 of each voice. I don't need 2 of each. We'll do green next. This one should be Qui-GON Jinn. So now you can see it does change to green. Can't really see that well because of the light, of course. But it's green.
Remember, concentrate on the moment. Feel, don't think. Use your instincts. Always remember, your focus determines your reality. All energy from the living force, from all things that have ever lived, feeds into the cosmic force, binding everything and communicating to us through the midichlorians.
So there's Qui-GON. Take that one out. And this one here should be Yoda, which is your other option for green.
A Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack.
So in theory, you won't know whose voice you have in each crystal unless you have a holocron, or if you have a reader, or not really a reader, but like a map that'll show you what cut belongs to what voice. But it's just a fun little thing to have.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
All right, sorry about that. I decided to do the rest of the review up in my room where it is a little bit darker. We could get a little bit better of effect of the glowing stuff, and I can also charge my phone because it was on 20% for that whole little shindig that I did, and I still had a whole while left to go, and it just died, so that happened. But hopefully we got like the last little snippet of Yoda in there. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the other ones. So we still have purple, yellow, and white to go through. With purple, it's a little bit of a different story. They're both actually MACE WINDU, but they each have a different set of voice lines. So there's a voice line 1 and a voice line 2. This is the edition that I picked in the SAVIS build with my elemental nature. And this is the edition that I had to actually buy separately. I didn't want to buy it separately myself without knowing that it's the second voice. Because, like I said, I didn't want to risk having 2 of the same MACE Windus. So I actually had somebody scavenge that one for me to the particular voice that I wanted. So just to keep that in mind, the best way that I look to determine which version you have is obviously, like I said, the cuts. But again, I really didn't know which line was voice 1 and which line was voice 2. So Google Galaxy's Edge Kyber crystal voice lines, and it'll tell you a list of the ones, what they say for voice 1 and what they say for voice 2. And if you go to buy it on eBay, or you go to buy it on OfferUp, or you go to buy it online, some sellers do note that it's voice 1, voice 2, and they'll put in the description some of the voice lines, so you'll be able to like kind of match them up to see which ones they are. Or better recommendation is to buy one of each from the same seller, so that you know they already have out voice 1, voice 2. But it was just a little bit of a hunt for me for this one to determine the 2 voice lines. So let's open this up. I'll give you guys a little bit of a listen so you guys can kind of tell the 2 apart. I don't know which one's which, because some of the sheets say that this is voice 2 and this is voice 1, but I think this is voice 1 and this is voice 2. When I bought it, this was voice 2. So it's all, like I said, it's all messed up. Best version is just kind of listen to what each one says and see if you can find a voice line in the description to kind of buy the one that you need. So like I said, this I think is voice line 1.
When war throws everything into confusion, look to the Jedi teachings for clarity. Jedi instincts aren't natural, but come from years of training and discipline. War is the most perilous test of that discipline and training.
I like that we did this in the dark so you could see them a little bit better, the coloring.
Emotions have power that discipline cannot contain. A Jedi must beware of unleashing that power for fear of never being able to control it again.
So there's that one. Okay, there's that there.
A Jedi's life is one of service to the Republic. We protect civilization against the darkness that would devour it.
Come on.
Strength has determined the outcome of many battles, but the best proof of strength is the battle that never takes place. Never use the Force to settle negotiations. That's mistaking power for justice.
So yeah, there's that one. Purple's done. Like I said, it's kind of hard to determine which one's which. The sheet that I used to complete it says that this is voice 2 and this is voice 1. So the one that I played was voice 2 first, and then the second one that I just played was voice 1. But like I said, it's really just buy a whole bunch of purples and get rid of the 2 that don't have the same voice lines. All right, keep the ones that have keep the 2 that have different voice lines is what I meant to say. There you go. So now let's take a look at the white and yellow ones. We'll do yellow ones first. Yellow ones are a little bit interesting because there's no real character that mastered yellow. They kind of look green, just a little bit, but it is yellow. It's different than the green, which we'll take a look at green again because we saw blue in the dark, but...
The lightsaber pike is the sacred weapon of the Temple Guard. Its twin yellow blades symbolize the eternal flame of the Order and the vigilance of its protectors.
So the first voice you get is the Temple Guard, which makes sense that they sell the Temple Guard saber.
It has been centuries since invaders dared set foot in the Temple's halls. Should they come again, the yellow blades of the Guard shall meet them. For eons there has been a Temple Guard. When you don the Guardian's mask, you become a link in an unbroken chain, one that represents centuries of honor and duty.
Yeah, that's the Temple Guard voice. This one here is actually KANATA, which is weird because she doesn't really have a lightsaber.
If you live long enough,
but
you see the same eyes in different people.
I guess it kind of makes sense. They needed to fill the gap. Had they waited a little extra longer, they could have released it with Rey.
I've seen evil take many forms. The Sith, the Empire. Today, it is the First Order. Their shadows spreading across the galaxy. We must face them. Fight them.
That one's KANATA. We'll do white.
After the Purge, the Emperor's hunters searched for Force-sensitive children, so there could never be another generation of Jedi. I couldn't let that happen, so I decided to stop them.
So it's Ahsoka, obviously with her white blades. Again, it makes sense because they sell her
Anakin Skywalker
white
was
blades.
my master. I thought he died at the end of the Clone Wars, but his true fate was far worse. He'd been consumed by the dark side.
So there's that one. Ahsoka Tano. And lastly, another one that doesn't really have a lightsaber.
May the force of others be with you.
CHIRRUT IMWE from Rogue One.
May the force of others be with you.
And he only has like 3 voice lines.
The force is strong.
Or 4 voice lines, I think. on. Come on.
May the force of others be with you.
Yeah, and then it also just says, I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me, just over and over and over and over and over and over. So now I'll just plug a red one in there, just so I can show you guys what happens when you do put a red one in there. It does light up red, but like I said, you get Master Yoda warning.
Careful you must be when sensing the future. The fear of loss is a path to the dark side. The dark side clouds everything. Impossible to see. The future is.
So that's basically that one. And then just a quick peek, just because we didn't really get to see. Obviously, this is what blue looks like, so I'm not going to put another blue crystal in there, but I want to put a green one in there just so you guys could see. There you go. That lights up green. So you couldn't really see it downstairs with the freaking light coming through the window, but it do shine pretty nice. Compared that to yellow. You can see it's a little bit brighter. A little bit more of a lime. Alright, so that's it for the Jedi holocron. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and pull up the Sith holocron. And we'll go through the Sith crystals now. Again, we'll take a better look at all of the cuts. So these are all red crystals. They all have different cuts and different voices. The red crystals are the only ones that have one voice per cut, so that's why I have a full set of 4. So this one's more of a little rugged. This is actually my favorite cut out of all of the crystals. I have Yoda, and so you can see the cut's the same. So I have Yoda and Luke in this cut. This is actually my favorite cut out of all of them, like I said. I just like the rugged look. So they are, like I said, one of 4 cuts, different voice lines. This is cut number 2. So it's a little bit more round. Like, I guess I wouldn't say even, but it's rounded around the whole side. The only one that's duplicate is the black obsidian crystal. Also comes in this cut. So let me see if I could get, there you go, the point where they're the same. They got that little indent towards the top. So the black crystal comes in cut 2. If you want an authentic one, you know. Cut number 3 is a little bit thicker. 3 and 2 look almost exactly the same. They just have this really sharp indent. You can see it right there. That'll help determine. And I believe this is the only... yeah, I think this is the only... oh no, I have this one in cut 3. And is this one cut 3? This one's cut 3. So that's also cut 3. I have a couple of cut 3s. Cool. And then cut number 4 is a nice, sharp, skinny one. And obviously I have this one, and this one in cut 4. The original 8 balls did come in cut 4. However, which I have those back up there. Like I said, those are going to be in the Rome video, so I'll show you those as well. But I think the new ones actually come in cut 2. We'll find that out when I get the new ones. And then we'll take a look at the obsidian one as well. The infamous black crystal, which we will go more into depth of those ones. So, but these 5 do read all inside of the Sith holocron. So this one, if you just twist the top, all the sides will open. And it lights up red. So with no voice in there, you get 3 quotes, again, from Darth Bane. Talking about the War 2.
Do you know who I am?
victims of their own greed. But from the ashes of destruction, I was the last survivor. I chose to pass my knowledge on to only one. I created a legacy so resilient that now you come before me. Have you come to be my apprentice?
So just 3 voice lines. It's Darth Bane, just talking about the Rule of Two. Pulled straight out of Clone Wars, I think. That one was pulled out of. But I'll show you guys real quick first what the regular crystals look like, the colored crystals. So we'll put a blue one in there. So the color does change to blue, but you will get Darth-Sidious. Not very easy to...
Give in to your anger. With each passing moment, you make yourself more my servant.
So I guess like the point of this one is that you put a light side crystal on there, so Sidious is trying to turn you to the dark side.
Good. I can feel your anger.
So just like the Yoda crystal when you put, or the Sith crystals when you put in the Jedi holocron, these Sidious quotes are different than the Sidious crystal. So just like the Yoda quotes in the crystal are different than the ones when you put a Sith crystal in there. So let's start with Sidious first since we got to him. This is cut 4. This is more Chancellor Palpatine-esque.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. He became so powerful.
You get the entire Darth Plagueis. That's kind of
The only thing
cool.
he was afraid of was losing his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. It's ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself.
I think that's actually the longest quote out of all the crystals, is the Plagueis line. So the Sidious crystal kind of reads more of Chancellor Palpatine in episode 3, and then when you put Jedi crystals on there, it's more of Sidious from episode 6.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? It's a Sith legend.
Yeah, we're not going to listen to that whole one again. So that's the Sidious one. We'll put this one in there. This one should be Vader. And these are actually re-recorded lines. Some from Rebels, some from the movies.
It has been
actually,
so
this is,
long, and my
sorry.
path has been so dark.
This is actually Darth Maul from Rebels.
Darker than I ever dreamed it could be. Discarded, forgotten. I have missed so much. The Force feels out of balance.
Yeah, this is Maul from Rebels.
I doubt that you comprehend the power that is within your grasp. It has been so long and my path has been so dark. Darker than I ever dreamed it could be. Discarded, forgotten. I have missed so much. The Force.
Alright, so we will get done with Darth Maul there. It'll go on forever. So this one's Vader's. So like I said earlier, this is some of them pulled from the movies, some of them pulled from Rebels, some of them are new recordings.
My armor hides a ruined body, but to the Force we are not this crude matter. The fires of Mustafar purified me,
and in the Force I burn brightly. You have taken your first steps into a larger world, but the Jedi path is a dead end. Only the dark side can complete your training. Peace comes from order, and order comes from power. The weakness of the Jedi left the galaxy in chaos. The strength of the Sith will tame it.
I like the line where it talks about Anakin. I want to see if he can say it.
The Jedi confused indifference with peace, dogma with knowledge, and weakness with serenity. Only the Sith see the galaxy as it is, and as it shall be made to be.
Let's see if it'll say it.
For 1,000 years, the Sith hid in shadow. Now we rule in secret. The galaxy does not need to know that my master commands the Force. It only needs to obey him.
Alright, and then the last one will be DOOKU.
You must strengthen your connection with the Force, my apprentice. Feel its power within you. Concentrate. You must connect with your hatred. Focus on your power building. Do not think of anyone or anything else. I'll have much use for you. I foresee we will do great things together. I shall teach you the ways of the dark side. Soon your powers will rival that of the great Sith Lord Darth Maul. We will be even more powerful than Lord Sidious. We shall rule the galaxy together, my apprentice. I require proof of your abilities as a warrior.
Yeah. So most of these are pulled from Clone Wars. Okay, sorry for the jump cut. So now we're going to get into the infamous black obsidian crystal here, housing the voice of Darth, or not Darth Maul. What am I talking about? Snoke. When you do pull this crystal, you do get a little tiny slip on the inside. I'll read it for you guys just because the writing's kind of small. It just says, "Today, you have found something truly special, the small fragment of obsidian infused with the power of the dark side. When placed inside the lightsaber holocron, this rare fragment with unnatural powers mined from a dark side shrine will have similar properties as a red Kyber crystal." So, basically, you put this guy in here, it's still going to shine red, but you do get a special voice from the crystal.
The seed of the Jedi Order lives. And as long as it does, hope lives. Well done, my good and faithful apprentice.
Like I said, they all got more voice lines, but
So much strength. Darkness rises and light to meet it.
so that's it for the Sith holocron. We're going to do a couple of more things with it. I'm going to bring in the Jedi holocron, and we're going to stack them on top of each other just so we can get a full reading of them. What they do when you stack them together. But other than that, all of these are done. I'm gonna go ahead and boot up one of the sabers. We'll get these guys in there and go through the different colors. Yeah, we'll do that in this video. I was gonna think of maybe we do it in another video with some other bonus stuff that I have, but we're just gonna do it in this video. So let me first grab the Jedi one. You can tell that they both have a little bit of different sounds with each other too. Sorry, I don't have as much deck space as I do down there. So that is what they look like. I'm gonna go ahead and move this just so we can. And then how this works is you put the Jedi one on the bottom and the Sith one right on top. And you can see they both change to purple. The sound changes just a little bit. And then, once you push, it doesn't really matter which one, you could do it on the Jedi or the Sith, but you push both buttons down. See if I can do this with one hand here.
Jedi and Sith wield the Ashlar and Bogan, the light and the dark. I'm the one in the middle, the Bendu.
So just to show you guys, pop this way, so I don't have to do it one hand. So it'll work on either one.
I take no side. I am beyond your worrying and wars. I am unseen, unknowable, like a rock in the river. If two such powerful sources of knowledge are united, they will grant a clarity of vision beyond your kind. When joined, any secret, wisdom, or destiny can be seen through the Force. One could bring much chaos with such hidden truths.
And so you get the Bendu when you put them together, which makes sense. The Bendu from Rebels. There you go, and they revert back. So that's a cool little detail. Cool reason to get both of them. Not a lot of people know you can do that. It's actually, they show that on the little instruction thing that comes on the inside of them. But so that's it for those. We got all the crystals over there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Galaxy's Edge Saber, my new custom build. I'll get into that. This will kind of be a joint review because I did a real, well, let's pull the saber out and then I'll show you guys what's going on with that. But Peace and Justice build here. I have one of each one of the colors. I'm just going to show you guys what happens when you do put the black crystal in there last, of course, just to kind of show you guys each one of those. Just battery pack, screwdriver, everything else you need. AirPod case. That's always a winner. So like I said with the Peace and Justice build, I didn't actually build this one. My brother did. He actually used, let me show you guys, all of these parts here. I don't want to leak too much of my setup, but this was actually my brother's build. He actually picked every single one of the parts opposite to the one that I would want for my build. So the same guy that scavenged me all of those extra crystals that I needed also scavenged me all of the parts that I wanted. So I actually have a full Peace and Justice set in my collection. I was going to sell those parts just to kind of make back what I spent to get these parts, but now the more that I think of it, I should just keep them, have a full set, and then I also have it just because it's the version my brother built, so kind of just an to him. Always have that build with me, and if he ever wants to use it, he could revert back to his build and he can have it. So I'm just gonna keep those parts, but I do have it. I kept the sleeves loose on here. There's no crystal in there right now, but I'm just going to show you what each one of the colors do when you put them in the saber. I think I went through a few of them. I definitely went through the blue and the red when I reviewed my protection and defense version. And then I got my elemental nature, and I kind of just skimmed through it really quick. Same with this one. I'm not going to do a full review. I'm going to do a full review of all four of the builds together in their own video. Or their own separate video. You'll see what I'm going to do with them. You probably saw a little bit of a teaser going back, but the video will make sense when I do it. So, yeah, let's just go through. We're going to get all the colors in. So for those of you that haven't seen my review of the protection and defense, you just move this back piece here, and you have access to the crystal chamber. Each one of these crystals sounds a little bit different than the other. And they do light up when you put them inside of the chamber. And let's just put we just need the activation side in. The activation side red. All right, so this is what blue. So, just going to kind of swing through them really quick. Again, I'm doing this one-handed, so be patient. This is going to be fun. We'll do green. So that's another thing I like. Each one of the crystals sound different when you put them inside of the case or inside of the chamber. That way. This way. This way. So you can hear the humming's a little bit different. Pull that one out. Speed run. We'll do purple. Ooh, come on. Come on. So cool. Pop purple out. We'll go red. We'll do the 4 main ones that you can get in the regular SAVIS build. We'll go to yellow next. Oh, come on. Hold on. Gotta put the phone down for this one. It's stuck sideways. There we go. All right, yellow's in. There's yellow. I don't want this video to go too long. It's probably already long enough. Go white. Oh, come on. You can do it, little guy. Get in there. So there's white. And then the black one, obviously. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. So you see it still shines red. And the blade's red. So, no black blade. Would be cool, but that's what each one of the colors do inside each one of the sabers. Stay tuned because I do have more Kyber crystal videos kind of coming your way. It'll make more sense when I say that, especially this upcoming week when I do get the new versions of the 8 balls and we do their own 8-ball video. But until then, make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys leave down in the description any other ideas you guys want to see come from me. Until the next one, I'll see you guys later. FordMustangkillerko, signing out.